All right, to all the new parents and caregivers out there, a huge congratulations. You've just brought a tiny new human home. So in this explainer, we're going to break down two of the very first, most fundamental skills you're going to need: holding and burping your baby.
You know, holding your newborn for the first time, it's just one of the most profound experiences ever. But let's be real, along with all that love, it is completely normal to feel a little nervous, a little shaky. Trust me, you are not alone in that feeling.
And this quote says it all, right? This feeling is universal. It's something pretty much every new parent goes through. So our goal today is simple. We're going to transform that uncertainty into some quiet, steady confidence. And we're going to start with the single most important rule of them all.
Okay, let's get right into it. Before we even think about any specific positions or fancy techniques, there is one non-negotiable principle you absolutely have to know. This is the foundation for everything else.
So why is this rule such a huge deal? Well, it really comes down to a newborn's anatomy. Their head is actually the heaviest part of their body, and they just don't have the neck muscles to support it yet. On top of that, you've got these soft spots, called fontanelles, where their skull is still forming, which makes their head extra delicate.
So here's the play-by-play for every single time you pick them up. First, a quick hand wash. Their immune system is brand new. Then it's a smooth two-handed motion. One hand slides under their head and neck, the other goes right under their bottom. Then you just scoop them up and bring them in close to your chest.
And that right there is the golden rule. Seriously, if you remember only one thing from this entire explainer, please make it this: always, always, always support your baby's head and neck. Everything else we talk about builds on this simple fact.
Okay, now that we've got the golden rule locked in, let's explore a few different ways you can hold your baby. Think of these like different tools in a toolkit. Each one is great for a different situation, and you'll pretty quickly find the ones that work best for you and your little one.
First up, we've got the classic. You know, the one you've seen in a million movies and TV shows, the cradle hold. It's that go-to position for a reason, and we're going to break down exactly how to do it so it's comfortable and super safe.
So to get into the cradle hold, you'll start with your baby held horizontally. Then, just gently guide their head so it's resting right in the crook of your elbow. Your forearm supports their back, and your hand can support their bottom. And honestly, the best part of this hold? That face-to-face connection. It is perfect for bonding, talking, and catching those first amazing smiles.
All right, next tool in the kit. This is a hold that gives your baby a totally different view of the world. And it can be a real lifesaver if they're a little bit fussy or just feeling curious.
For the shoulder hold, you lift your baby up so their head is resting right on your shoulder. This lets them peek out at everything happening behind you. And of course, you still have one hand securely supporting their head and neck. This position is just incredibly calming because your baby can hear your heartbeat right next to their ear.
Now, the football hold might look a little unusual at first, but trust me, it's a game changer. You tuck your baby under your arm. Yep, kind of like a football, with their head supported in your hand and their body resting along your forearm. This hold is amazing for feeding, and it's especially a lifesaver for moms who are recovering from a C-section because it keeps all the pressure away from their incision. But if you have a fussy, gassy baby, you want to try the belly hold. That's where they lie face down along your forearm. That little bit of gentle pressure on their tummy can seriously work wonders for colic. All right, let's build on that with a few more specialized moves. These are for those moments when you need something a little extra in your toolkit. Whether you're trying to calm a crying baby, create a really deep bond, or just get that stubborn burp to come out.
So you've got kangaroo care, which is just skin-to-skin contact. It sounds simple, but it's so powerful for regulating their heartbeat and just making them feel secure. And remember, for burping, you've got options beyond the shoulder. You can sit them on your lap or even lay them gently across your knees to help get those little air bubbles out.
We have covered a lot of the how-tos, but now we really need to talk about the never-evers. This is, without a doubt, the most important part of our chat. These are the absolute, non-negotiable rules for keeping your baby safe.
Okay, let's be crystal clear here. First and foremost, never, ever shake a baby. It can cause serious, irreversible brain damage. Also, never carry hot drinks or try to cook while you're holding them. On stairs, make sure you have a firm grip. And you know what? If you are feeling tired, dizzy, or just overwhelmed, please just sit down. It is always, always the safest choice. Now, for those times you need your hands free, but still want to keep your baby close, a properly fitted baby carrier or a sling is going to be your best friend. It keeps them snug and secure right against your body and lets you get a few things done safely.
And finally, when it's time to put your baby down, just think of it as the reverse of picking them up. You lower them down slowly and gently, always keeping that hand under their head until it is resting completely on a firm, flat surface. And remember, always, always place them on their back to sleep.
So there you have it. The real fundamentals for holding your newborn with confidence, with security, and with so much love. Look, it's not about being perfect from day one. It's about feeling prepared. You've totally got this. So take a deep breath, soak up these precious, fleeting moments, and ask yourself, which one of these holds are you going to master first?